I don't know what shows are coming up. No.
Screaming Females is coming.
We got a show Friday up at Bourbon Street.
Bourbon Street?
Yeah, over on Summit. We're going to be there holding it down for some punk bands.
I didn't see that.
You ready?
It's going.
It's going?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to start the theme. You don't have any animations or anything? We're going to get that. I keep forgetting to fucking do that. Yeah, you bring your computer on Wednesday, Brian.
Wednesday? I always bring my computer.
Okay. All right, I'm ready when you are.
As soon as you start this music,
streaming?
I'm going.
Hey, Street Fighters. Thanks for being here. It's another Sunday night. It's time for a street fight. We do this every single week at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can hear us on 92.7 or 98.3 here in Columbus, Ohio. We're on WCRS, the best community radio that there is. You can find an entire archives of Street Fight shows at WCRSFM.org. And you can find more of what we do over at streetfightradio.com. If you've placed a Kratom order recently, I got a tattoo on my hand, so I haven't been able to pack Kratom, and that's why it's late right now. Sorry that you buy from cool people. It's on the way, though. Thanks for supporting the show. As always, my name is Brett Payne. My co-host is Brian Quinby. We're the #1 anarcho-comedy show on any station across the nation. We've been doing it for 7 years now. We are broadcasting worldwide out of the Free Press Studios here in Columbus, Ohio. We are a part of the Pacifica Radio Network, and we are taking your calls. That number to dial is 614-412-5252. Looking for stories about small business tyrants, military recruiting, DARE officers, or anything else that comes to mind. Thank you for supporting us for this long as we continue to move upward and onward towards a flatter earth and a flatter society with no hierarchies. We appreciate your time and attention for this show. Glad to be back. This is the first time we're taking calls in 2 weeks now, so hopefully the lines haven't dried up too much. I'm sure some people called last week and were pretty pissed that they didn't get through.
Yeah, once some of y'all call tonight, let us know what's doing, what's happening. But how's it going, man? How's it going, Brett?
So far, so good. I've had an all right weekend. I've recovered mostly from the tour. I don't know. I've just been chilling, really. I went to the zoo. I hung out with some friends, and went and did a family thing. So I'm killing it. I'm adulting like a boss right now.
That's good. That's good. I've had a crazy week. I'm going to tell you, it has not been normal for me. I mean, it's basically normal because my whole life is a mess all the time. But woof. This one's been crazy. Crazy.
What's going on?
So, number one, my daughter plays volleyball, Brett. She's a volleyball player. She plays for the school. 8th grade team. Not like the most important time for volleyball, but you're getting there, It's like 8th grade is like what I'm learning from watching my kid, this isn't something that I experience. It's like, it's time to start getting serious. Great.
Yeah. No, this is, you're going to have a sports career after this. You're going to get the Letterman jacket if you keep going with it.
Right. And also, it's like, even with homework and with all that stuff, like, they're just like, we ain't screwing around anymore. Your mom and dad aren't going to be bringing your stuff that you forget at home up to the school anymore. Which is a lie, because I do that still. Once a week, she forgets something, and I take it up to the school when I get out of bed. But so the volleyball team has home and away games, and the away games they need dinner. They need to be fed dinner because they don't get out of there until like 8:30, and they probably got to drive from some faraway land like Taze Valley or something. I don't know, just, a half hour sometimes they got to drive on the bus to get there. So they want their food right after the game because they're burning energy. Well, they don't tell you. This is happening all over the place, actually, with me. Actually, I'm going to start with this story, but then there's also another part of this story. They don't tell you what to bring for their dinner. They'll just be like, sometimes they bring Subway. And you're like, okay. And then, like, the thing they don't understand is, since they don't tell you what to bring, they leave it up to you and a teenager who is absolutely terrified that no matter what you bring will make her into a nerd for the entire rest of the time that she's in school.
Right. You're going to show up with pimento loaf, and then they're going to call her pimento loaf for the rest of high school.
You can't explain to her that it's not going to mean anything and that they're not going to say anything about this because it's kind of it's rude to be like your family's food is gross. And like I never did that, and believe me, I stayed the night at a lot of people's houses with gross food.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you just got to suffer through it.
Yeah, you just got to eat the food, man. That's why I always ate before I left for people's house. If they wasn't promising pizza, I was like,
I'm fill up on
I'll
snacks.
get something else before I come, you know?
Yeah, we also have in the studio today Josh. You know him as username Joshua on Twitter. Thanks for being here.
Hey, folks.
He'll answer your calls
And
too.
so I'm sort of worried, you know, like what are we gonna fucking do? You know, what is this dinner going to be? Well, here's another little wrinkle to this. All the other parents have failed. So there's been like 5 of them.
Okay.
And every other parent that's brought food, their kid has
kids-
been like, that food was sick. I hated it. And like hurt their feelings. Every single one of them. I've talked to the other parents and they're always like, yeah, she hurt my feelings. She said nobody liked the food that I brought. And I'm just like, this is so much pressure.
Yeah, stop being terrorized by your kids, dude. This is why we need to bring spanking. There needs to be spanking again. That's
So
what I'm hearing right now.
My wife is like throwing out ideas. What about pasta? Oh, you gonna eat pasta on a bus? Okay.
Yeah, you could out of some Tupperware. That would be perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, you can calm down a little bit. That's a suggestion that we came up with is all kids like spaghetti and meatballs. We just kind of figured we could probably do something like that. What about a soup? Nobody likes soup except for me. Then my wife with the craziest suggestion of all the suggestions I've ever heard in my entire life. I've never heard anything crazier than this suggestion. Chicken salad and egg salad sandwiches.
That's fun. That keeps on the bus.
No kids like that.
No, they don't.
Not a single kid likes chicken and egg salad sandwiches. I used to cry when my parents made me eat chicken and egg salad sandwiches. And I'm not talking about when I was 5 or 6. I'm talking like when I was 15 and 16. Like, really? Dang it. I can't eat this. It's gross.
I mean, I loved it when I was a kid. I was happy to eat.
Yo, that's you. I was happy to eat. I was a young orphan at that time, so It was great for me.
Yep.
Any food that I could get, I was very thankful for. I would pat my father on the head and say, good job earning that. So we figured it out. We're doing sandwiches, some submarines, and Doritos, because, you know, kids love Doritos.
It sounds like you're going to find out kids hate Doritos, though.
No.
They only like Taki, okay?
Nobody got Taki. My daughter loves Doritos, though, and she refuses to try Taki, which is kind of weird. You know, I thought kids like Taki these days. But yeah, Doritos, cookies that I made by hand from scratch like a gentleman, M&M cookies that are delicious, by the way. I have a really great recipe for M&M cookies if anybody's ever looking. So I made those, and we got them those ice. So there's like these dollar drinks at all the grocery stores that are these tall, like sugary, supposed to be diet drinks are fruit flavored.
Fake sugar.
Yeah.
Sparkling water, right?
Yeah.
Ice.
And kids go wild for it. So we got them that too. And so we may be successful. Now, you know, the basement show is after. The next basement show is after this happens. So I could come back and be like, that didn't work out. The kids don't like subs and turkey sandwiches, which is, come on, what do these kids want, you know?
Whatever, like, Sweet Life of Zach and Cody had, probably.
I think what they
Whatever
want is,
Hannah Montana had.
can we get an Instagrammable meal?
Right.
I mean, one mom got fucking yelled at, and I could tell it tore her apart. Like, because she seemed, like, sad when she said it. She's like, I brought Uncrustables and carrot sticks and hummus. And my daughter said everybody absolutely hated it. And I'm just like, that sucks. Why would your daughter say, just eat the dang food? You don't have to tell that everybody hated your food, you know? Teenagers are hard. And
Kids are awful.
Here's a new thing that's going on. Washington, D.C. trip's coming up. Every school, which, by the way, I just found this out about my wife. She's told me before, but I never really thought about it. My wife didn't get to go to Washington, D.C. in 8th grade. Did you go to Washington, D.C. in 8th grade?
Oh, yeah.
My wife didn't get to go because her parents said either that's your Christmas present or you don't go.
I knew some people that had to manage that
And she was
decision.
like, I'd rather just have the Christmas presents. I ain't go on some school trip. I want the clothes, you know?
Yeah, I need those clothes.
Yeah. But, like, that was sad to me. But so my daughter's going. I paid the $517. It's all paid up. That's a huge amount of money, by the way. Like, I got to pay it over, like, 6 months. So I'm not complaining about, like, that. That's an easy thing to do over 6 months. Still a ton of money for a thing, you know? But not really a ton of money for a trip to Washington, D.C.
No, I've been. It's pretty expensive.
And everything's paid for there, right? So, like, I went to the meeting, and they were like, of course your kid's going to want to get souvenirs and stuff, but their food's all paid for. Everything there is paid for. All the necessities of life, all the entries to everything, everything's paid for. But they'll want spending money. And we're like, so what amount of spending money should we send them with to the teacher? He's like, all families are different. And I'm like, no, that's not an acceptable answer because the poor families have to start saving now to keep up with the rich families so their kid doesn't look poor because that is another thing that the kid, like, will feel crazy about. Like, my kid the other day was like, we played this school, and it was a school in Columbus School District, right? And she's like, those kids were rich. They were all wearing, like, Nikes and stuff like that. And I was like, kid, they're just like you. Their parents just never get anything for themselves, and they buy all the stuff for the kid. You know, that's how it works. Like, God damn. So this money thing is killing me. Like, I have no idea how much money to give her. And then I asked her, I was like, would $100 be cool? And she'd be like, why are you asking me? I'm like, because you're the person that's going to need it. So I'm in that spot too now. It's just
make the decision. Whatever you want to give
I'm going with $100. $100 sounds right.
That
right?
sounds fair to me.
Sounds like a ton of money for an 8th grader.
Yeah, it's going to be blown on the stupidest shit. Maybe some fake sunglasses.
I think what she's going to buy a lot of Starbucks. Like, the thing I'm worried about is they give them $10 for their meals. Mm-hmm. And then they go to, like, these food courts. And I'm like, there's no goddamn way these kids aren't going to spend all the money on, like, a cake pop and a giant coffee.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just not a possibility.
Time of their life, right?
Yeah, so.
Big city. You can eat whatever you want, right?
No, not really. They go to a Hard Rock Cafe.
I went there, yep.
You like the Hard Rock Cafe?
We went to the one in Baltimore.
There's a Hard Rock Cafe in Ohio. I didn't know about.
I did not know that.
There's a Hard Rock Roxino here. I drove by last night. Didn't even know about it.
I didn't know that at all.
Brett's perking up. He's like, I hear Cino at the end of a word. The whole time we're on the road, Brett was like, we got to go to one of these fucking casinos.
Yeah, I really wanted to go. I did eventually get to go.
He did, and then he pissed an old man off, which was funny. That's my favorite part of the trip, actually. My favorite part of the whole trip, and I did so much amazing stuff and did all these great shows, is that Brett told an old man he was on a roll, and the old man got mad at him and yelled at him and stomped out of the casino.
He came back.
Yeah, but
I was
to get away from you.
Yeah.
He was like, I gotta get away from this fucking bad luck schlep rock.
Well, I was playing next to this guy that, like, he came and he lost all his money and then he went away and got more money and he came back and he started winning. He started, like, playing more aggressively, and I was like, damn, man, you're on a roll. And he was like, shit, man. What he said, just let it be. Don't say anything. Why did you say something? And then he, like, slaps the table and then walks away. And he's like, put a spot down. And, like, you can hold your spot. And he just walks away and goes and, like, paces for a while because I fucked up his hot streak.
If a pitcher threw 5 hitless innings, would you go up to him and say, hey, wow, man, you're doing really good?
I would, dude. That's who I am. I don't believe in the superstition.
I don't either. Like, I think believing in superstition is exactly like believing in ghosts and God. Like, I'm all about this, like, not believing in anything you can't see. We're gonna go ghost hunting again this year, I think, right? It's gonna be more of a Twitch thing than a live show thing.
I thought you killed all the ghosts.
We went looking. We didn't find any.
No.
Of course, because there aren't any. We're gonna find extra haunted places, though. I think this time We're going to do some real research. We're going to find super haunted places.
Yeah, because we went to Hellville or whatever, and it was like used to be haunted and used to be a place where the government tested on regular people and snakes and shit. But that's just not there anymore.
No.
We have to find the current places where they're mixing human DNA with animals and shit.
Yeah, I mean, in Marietta, Ohio,
There's
there
a lot
is
of
a
them here.
hotel in Marietta that is you can pay to stay the night, and it's haunted. And I think that's what we should do, because people are like, "Oh, people get up in the middle of the night and just leave." And I will go there, and I will get a good night's sleep in that hotel,
you
no
won't.
problem.
You'll sleep for 13 hours and be like, "Oh, I didn't get a wink last night." That's what the tour was like.
But what I'm saying is, I'll sleep. I won't have any
Sure.
problem like being
You'll be sawing
haunted.
logs.
Yeah, I'll just be like, "I'm out, man. I'm just asleep." That's what I do. But yeah, I do sleep a lot of hours. But I don't sleep well in hotels. It's
Yeah.
just, I can't do it. I feel like there's like constantly somebody looking at me when we're in the hotel. Not you. It's just if I was in the room by myself, I would feel like people were listening in the door and the wall and shit like that. You know what I mean?
I know. There was a place we went, and they were having like a party inside the room, and every time we went by, Brian was like, "Can you believe this? They're having a time in there at the hotel, man. They're gonna get in trouble. Aren't they gonna kick them out?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I don't think anybody's paying that close of attention." You feel like you're like a lab experiment or something.
I
Or
do
like
feel-
you're like a mouse in like a cage.
I feel like I'm in jail
Yeah.
almost. Like there's so many rules
That's
that
true.
it's just like maybe I'll just get room service and I'll sit in a room and I'll be quiet and nobody
They'll leave
can-
me alone.
Yeah, nobody
They won't
will
find
look
this
at me.
weed and send me to jail or something.
Right. Because I feel like I am nosy, right? Like I'm a nosy guy. I try not to be, but like I listen to other people's conversations at restaurants. I am fascinated when I take walks if like people have their door open and their TV on. I'm like, what is this guy watching on
Yeah.
TV? I used to like hate my neighbor because every time I looked in their door, they were watching Fox News, and I'm like, I know that guy's a son of a bitch.
Right.
But like, I didn't know him personally or talk to him.
You know what he's filling his head with, though.
Yeah, but I have one neighbor that drives like a van that has radio station lizard wrap on it or whatever. I'm like, guy works at a radio station. I wonder what he does. Like I'm a nosy guy, so I think like people at the hotels, I feel like the other guests are nosy. Like I feel like everybody's nosy and just wants to know what everything that's going on. Me and you do it all the time, dude.
Yeah.
We're sitting at dinner and we're sitting at dinner in Minneapolis listening to the most god-awful conversation. And like we're eating burgers and these girls are calling all their friends the C word basically that weren't at the table.
Yeah, and then they're telling their boyfriends about someone's getting married when why they really shouldn't be getting married.
Yeah.
They're going. It was really bad. It was just like I wanted to get away so hardcore.
It's like every time I hear a group of people talking, they are talking shit about somebody else. Like that's
or just having the most terrible opinions.
I know.
I mean, there's nothing deep going on out there.
there is not a lot of solidarity between women out there sometimes when you hear the way that some of them talk about like, oh yeah, well, you know, she's all fucking everybody all the time. I'm like, what does that have to do with anything?
Yeah.
With like how she works or whatever, like comes to work, you know? Golly.
Yeah, it's bad.
So my wife told me this really funny story last night. We went stargazing last night. We went and looked at stars.
Right.
By the way, somebody online was like, I didn't know you were romantic like that. Buddy, I've been with the same woman for 20 years. I don't have to be somewhat romantic.
Well, I think most guys get away with like, well, it's a binding contract, you know, until death, so I don't have to do shit.
I actually brought that up yesterday because I know this person that's in a relationship that I always saw as very volatile. Like, wouldn't be surprised if they weren't in a relationship tomorrow because the person they're with is just crazy. Like, not crazy, but just kind of like at one point he was like, this dude is like really into Donald Trump during the election, and his girlfriend's like, I don't like him, and was like kind of making fun of Donald Trump and shit like that. And then he had a lawyer write up a paper like kicking her out of the house that they live in because
What? Holy
he
shit.
couldn't live with her anymore.
His girlfriend or his wife?
His girlfriend. They're
Okay.
just like kind of dating, you know, and he's just like, I don't need this
But
kind
he's-
of abuse.
He served her papers?
He did. I mean, the theory is that he
Well-
had just got legal representation through his job and he wanted to take it for a test drive.
Sure, see how far it could go.
Yeah.
But maybe I got a real specific problem.
But it's his house, you know, he has every right to do that. And I just found out recently that they're like getting married, and I was like, I think that'll stabilize their relationship because
sure.
there's like a contract there now.
Yeah, now there is a real.
Now they
She
have
has
to
some
stay.
legal recourse. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's wild, man, to be that mad because somebody made fun of like the guy you're
president.
voting for president.
Dude, he's an avatar for like they're so some of those people are so far into it. Like there's a lot of really just cynical people that just want to see everybody scream about it. But then there are those like I have people that share their mom's statuses and stuff or like screenshot it and send over the wildest shit.
Yeah, we get that a lot
Grandpas
in
too.
the,
All
and-
of just like completely 100% belief in the Trump ideology.
Yeah.
Like just fascinated with this guy. Like they'll share one of those videos of him babbling for like 15 minutes and just be like, "Well, this is going to set the record straight." And it's
Yeah.
like it didn't make any sense.
I
It was
don't- yeah.
incoherent to me.
To me too. I'm always like,
Like
how
I'm
can-
trying to understand what he's saying, but it doesn't come through. You have to have a scrambled brain to pick up that message.
Well, my wife spent some time with her dad recently, who's a big Trump guy, and said that he was just mean as hell. And I was kind of explaining to her, like, I think a theory I have now is that they won. Because I'm like, I always am like, they won. Like, why are they so angry all the time? They won.
Right.
But they're mad because they didn't, like, first of all, they lost the popular vote. And yes, that doesn't mean anything because he's still the president or whatever. But it just means that among people,
Right.
he was less popular than he was for the Electoral College. You know what I mean?
It's a stain. It's a mark on the record.
So, like, even to that point, I mean, even in that election, more people that voted didn't want him to be president than ended up voting for him to be president. So, like, they live in this world where, like, they won, and then when the election's over, everybody goes back to their life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, everybody just goes back and they accept that he's the president. You stand behind the office of the presidency and all that stuff. Well, that's not happening now. You know? Like, because people like us are pissed.
never
and,
does,
Like,
though.
things... I understand, but to them, it did. That's the point. Like, that's the thing. Under Obama, to them, because he was so kind of milquetoast that people weren't really freaking out about him at all, that those people were freaking out about him. But the average person, I don't think, was freaking
Sure.
out about Obama. Like, most people were just like, whatever. He just does what he does. You know what I mean? But now, the average person
Got it.
is like paying attention and hates it, and they're like, what the hell,
And
this isn't fair.
Right, and openly and publicly saying it. Like when they hated Obama, people were like, "Get out of here, racist."
Yeah, and it's just okay. Like, they turn on the TV, dude. Like, imagine you're a Trump guy and you just turn on the TV and you have to watch, like, the president getting owned, like, all day, because that's all TV is now. Most TV
Yeah.
is just people yelling about the president.
Right. That's our entertainment.
It's just it's so funny to me. It's like it's so cool that they lost. They won like power, but they lost everything else. They lost every possible other thing. They lost their families. Their kids don't like them. Their grandchildren don't like them.
I heard another story today about somebody that did that. That ended up just like there was a slight, and some like grumpy dad was like, "I disown you," and just like over nothing, not willing to talk or have a conversation. Just one of those "you should know how I think" type things. And
Yeah.
I don't know how people get. It's so crazy to have a kid because you go through so much bullshit like you're going through right now.
Right.
And they come out on the other side like an adult person that you can have a relationship with, and you just treat them like any other fucking Facebook poster. You know what I mean?
Like, you love I love my kids so much that whatever bullshit that's going on now is even almost charming. You know, it's a pain in my ass, you
Sure.
know, but it's kind of like, it's having a kid. You know, she's growing. She's a different person. She's like another grown person sort of in the house, and she's going to have her own opinion. She's going to have her own thoughts. She's going to have her own insecurities. And we all know that when you're a teenager,
Right.
you know, you're so driven by insecurity that, like, you have like when it's happening, I think you understand where they're coming from.
Sure.
You know, like I understand.
I mean, you only understand it from 10 years away from it, 20, 30 years away from it,
Yeah,
and then it's very quickly, once you leave school, you're like, none of that mattered. I spent all of that time thinking about all that stuff, and it's all gone. I'm an adult now, and the slate is clean, and everybody I meet has no idea that my dad brought ham salad to a volleyball practice once, and I was mortified.
If you even tell them, like, because there are people, okay, like I hung out with a lot of my high school friends probably till I was like 25 or 26, right around there. Gwen was born when I was 26, so that was probably about when I kind of stopped hanging out with them because I had a kid and, had to
they
get
were
my
doing
shit together.
non-kid stuff.
Like, but I did feel like for that 7 years after high school that I needed to prove that high school meant something. Like, it meant something. These people are going to be with me for the rest of my life.
Right.
So it's not until you're right. Like, you get to be about 28, 29, and you're like, oh, my God, that was all pointless. None of that social stuff matters anymore. And if I like go to work and I tell somebody, hey, I was really popular in high school, they would make fun of me.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean you were popular? Who cares?
Right. Yeah, but you can't come. I mean, she has too much time to think up disasters.
Well, yeah.
You need to, and then all the shows are about disasters in school too.
Yeah, all the shows are called like Awkward or like
Yeah.
This person is a loser or something like that.
Right.
And you're like, yeah, I get it. Everything's awkward, but
Right.
it's like if you people would just cool out for a second. Like she goes to a school where there's really not a lot of bullying. I mean, it's a very soft school.
Sure.
And I don't mean to say that insulting. I think it's good. I wish I went to a soft school.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You wish didn't you have to think about fighting people all the time as an option.
Yeah. Wish I didn't have to bully to make myself popular. But,
Or Brian.
But it was just like, I feel for her. Like, I know how important that stuff means in the moment. Like, I have this old paper this is so funny. I wrote this when I was probably 16, and I was really in love with this girl. And we were dating or whatever. And I was grounded, but she was never allowed to do anything, right? She was never allowed to go. But 1 week she was allowed to go to the football game, the high school football game, and that's where we would, like, hang out and, like, make out and shit like that, right?
Uh-huh.
My parents were like, you can't go to that football game. You're grounded. And I went in my room, and I, like, made a contract for myself that I would ruin my parents' life if I ever got old and rich. And I would buy their house and evict them and get them fired from their jobs and just ruin everything.
You're real Romeo.
And so, I was in love, dude.
I know, you're Romeo. That's what I'm saying. I will ruin my parents for you.
I will. I said I'll buy their. I'll bring the paper in sometimes because it was. I look at it sometimes and I'm like, that really meant a lot to me. Like, going to that one football game meant like life or death to me, to the point where it was like, I will go
Took everything from me.
I will go on a Kill Bill mission to handle you. Like, I will destroy everything that you hold dear, you know? Yeah. It's so, I buy their business. It says I'll buy their businesses and fire them.
Wow, Findom.
I know.
You're just going to take them out.
I want to, I was going to buy their house and then buy their businesses. I hate them. I just hated their guts.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I don't even feel that strongly about them anymore. Or like,
right.
I'm not, that girl, like,
You probably didn't
gone.
miss out on much.
No, I didn't miss out. I missed out on making out with somebody all night.
Right.
Under, like, the bleachers at a football game. It wasn't a big deal. But it was just such a big deal to me. Like, at the time. I was going to get to do some smooching with my finest lady.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole world when you're young.
Yeah.
Like, when I was 16, the universe was my house, the school, and the 6 inches in front of my face.
Yeah.
You don't have perspective.
Yeah. And your social network is so screwed because it's a ton of people that believe the same shit you do and, like, keep you going. You know what I mean? Like, they keep that going. Like, it's a ton of people that are like, no, this is the most important time of your life. Compounded with crazy parents who also think that's the most important and best time of your life.
And this decides who you're going to be forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. The stress over school, man, is something I'm not about that life at all. I mean, my kid gets enough that she'll be fine. Like I am not stressing about all the extras and all the other shit that's coming and the information and staying on track. Like I think she's gonna be okay.
You just got to be there for them when
Yeah.
they need somebody to talk
Exactly.
to. I think, I think about this a lot, but my parents didn't really have conversations with me. They like kind of talked at me. And I feel like if maybe they had had some conversations with me, I might have been a little more.
You wouldn't have wanted to destroy their whole life. You wouldn't want that far on them.
No, I mean, if they would have, well, no, I'm still mad about. But by the way, I'm still in a way mad about that, but for different reasons. You know, it's more like, if you weren't going to help me go to college, then why did it matter if I did well in high school? Was kind of
That's
my
true.
like thing.
That makes sense.
That's why I'm still mad. But I'm not like that mad anymore. You know,
Let's
get
take some calls. Yeah, I'm done with the kid talk.
Jeez.
I fucking hate it.
Jeez. So mean.
Sorry, I just don't. It was not the glory days. It's so long ago.
I don't see it as the glory days.
You heard it here. Brett Payne hates children.
I do.
Yeah,
I've
that's
grown.
true.
I used to be so sweet about him, but then as mine has aged and I see the other one's age, I'm turning on him. All right, thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to?
Hey, how's it going? This is Happy from Missoula, Montana.
What's up, Happy? We're not going to promise to come to Montana now. We already did Des Moines.
Oh, no, I don't. No, yeah, it's pretty far. It's pretty tough to get to. I don't blame you.
I actually one time tried to search ways to see how long it would take to get to Montana, and it wouldn't do it because it was too far. I'm not lying. That's not like a joke. After a certain amount of miles, Waze doesn't work. So that kind of scared me away from ever promising a Montana show.
Yeah.
What's going on,
Yeah,
Happy?
it's hard to get to. I don't know. I'm just, I guess. And my weekend is winding down, so I've been pretty doing nothing all day.
Montana is a 26-hour drive from Columbus, Ohio. Yikes.
Oh, yeah, I drove out here, man.
From where? Where'd you drive
It
from?
was long. From
You're breaking up a little bit. What was that?
I drove.
It breaks up right before you say the name every time. Are you like in a place with bad phone service? Montana is probably a place with bad phone service. Hello? Hello? I think we lost him. I think we lost Happy.
Oh no.
I think Happy is unhappy. Hello? Happy?
Happy, can you hear me?
Happy, can you hear me?
Is there a skeleton in the room with you?
You're
just a
cutting
ghostly
way out.
spirit.
You're popping in every now and then, but it's
Oh, man.
okay. We can hear you. Tell us what you have to say.
Oh, you
so
can hear
that
me now?
You don't cut out, okay?
Yeah, I drove from Cleveland.
Sure.
So,
It's a beautiful driving out there. Actually, it's funny. When we were driving, Brett was like, I don't know why you want to travel around the country. It all looks the damn same.
Yeah, I was
oh,
not
it's
into
nice. It's nice out there, though.
I don't know. I wasn't
nice
into the
driving
road
out
tripping thing. We drove every single day, like 3 days in a row, and I'm like, this is not that picturesque, really. It just looks all the damn same.
Well, we were driving on the interstate. If I was going to take like a road trip or something like that, I would maybe take other roads instead of the interstate so I can see the same 5 restaurants every corner. So what's up, Happy? How you doing? What you got going on?
I guess I'm calling for advice and stuff. I have like 4-day weekends now because I'm in school and everything, and I only have stuff like 3 days out of the week.
Slick. So what are you
That's
trying
nice.
to do? Well, like, what kind of advice? Like, you trying to find stuff to do for those 4 days?
Yeah, like I don't know if I should like go and get a job and stuff, or if I should just like focus on school. Because like I have a gig kind of where they're paying me to do some stuff like grading papers, but I don't know if I should like be doing something else, or
What
if
do
it's
you
okay
think?
to
I
just
mean-
focus on school.
Do you have to? I mean, are you that, like, can you survive without it?
Yeah, I could probably survive without it, but like when I get done with school and stuff, it'll just put me ahead. So
Yeah.
I have a real dilemma, I guess. You know.
Like, what kind of job are you think? Because here's the thing: are your 4-day weekends like? Do they include? I know this sounds stupid. They include Saturday and Sunday, right?
Yeah, it's Friday, and then I usually don't have anything on Monday, so all those days are free.
I mean, if you go get a job, I would put the chances that you're going to be working all weekend pretty high. And like, I don't know. I don't know what you like do socially and stuff like that, but I know that working on the weekends really hampers like hanging out with your friends. You know, like if that's important to you.
Yeah.
If there's nobody out there, then. But I always put a high premium on having time to, you know, like go to concerts. Like basically when I was working a real job, my ideal schedule probably would have been a night schedule because I like being up at night, but I always worked days, so I was off at the same time as everybody else, you know? And if you go get a job at a place on campus or something, they're going to make you work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, probably pretty sure, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah, it
that's
seems-
true. I'm just starting to like meet people too, so it's kind of like I want to cultivate those like new relationships and stuff, you know?
Yeah, I mean, if you're not too pressed for money, I mean, I'd hate to tell you to take extra loans or get yourself deeper in the money, but I mean, that can come later or it won't, and they aren't going to kill you or throw you in jail for it. I would maybe spend time figuring out how to make money doing something that you like to do. If there's music or repairing stuff or flipping or something you could do in your part-time that might turn into something more, I'd probably put my efforts towards that.
Like a hobby sort of
Yeah.
thing. Like if there's something that you're into, like, or some sort of art that you can sell or anything like that, like putting your time into something like that is probably a lot better than putting your time into like a Jimmy John's or something.
Yeah, I'm wondering, like, I've been going to Goodwill every week just to, like, because I'm looking for a picture to put in my living room and stuff. And, like, I'm finding, like, some good stuff, like basketball jerseys that I could sell online and stuff. They're pretty
That's
cheap.
my
And there's no
hustle.
sales tax in Montana, so that, like, helps out a lot.
Yeah, dude, you can make tons of money doing that. I did it all the time. You just find stuff that you like. If you know basketball jerseys, that's perfect because there's all kinds of sports memorabilia. And you have it now. You have the phone in your pocket, so you can look up everything while you're in the damn store, so you're not going to make any bad buys. That would be a route I would go after. If you have the urge or the ability to do it, it's pretty fucking easy to make some money. And then you're not as pressed for time, and you're not beholden to somebody else's schedule. Like Brian said, to make $50 for an 8-hour shift or something.
Yeah, that's true. Plus, I don't have to deal with any small business tyrants. I don't want to do that. That's a risk.
I mean, yeah, you
I would have
might
stories
think,
for you also.
you might even think that's a joke, but the thing is, if you're on a campus, that's the only people hiring. If you were just looking to make extra money doing a service job, you're probably going to work for some crazy small business idiot. You know, that's why everybody's always hiring on camp. Like I walk by the places on campus, and like all the time, and every business on campus is always hiring because of the incredible turnover because the bosses are crazy.
Oh, and they tell you it's because kids don't want to work or they're not thankful and all of that. It's because they don't want to be treated like garbage. Like they expect, we expect some sort of level of respect from people that are at least older than us. I mean, fuck, I remember being young and being yelled at and being like, how am I 22 and I know what is the polite way to tell somebody, something at their job, and I've got 50-year-old guys screaming in my face right now.
Back in my day, I worked a part-time job for the modern equivalent of $50 an hour, and I paid my tuition, which was $100, and, why don't you do that?
Right.
I mean, all those jobs, and like they close, like at least if it's like Ohio State campus, it's like a restaurant opens and then 6 months later it's another concept and then 6 months later it's closed and they're hiring the entire time. It just, if you know how to hustle that like vintage clothes thing, that to me is like, I wish I could do that because my daughter only wants like vintage t-shirt. Like she was just the other day like saying like, I wish you guys would have saved some of your stuff when you were growing up. And it's like, well, I didn't think anybody would ever want that junk, and like that seems like,
yeah, you're like that at that age though. Like I remember when I was in high school, I was just like, oh, I really want like old stuff from the 90s and the 80s and like 70s and stuff. So like I guess the market for that is like younger kids. They'll pay the money for it.
It is. My daughter will take any Tommy Hilfiger shirt, like, and that was like basically when I was a kid, everybody like Tommy Hilfiger, and what else? What it's like Tommy Hilfiger and Jenko and Nautica and stuff like that. And she just wants all that stuff that people wore when I was in high school. I do wish I still had all that stuff because I would be selling it up on what's the site that people sell it on?
Mercari?
No, there's a popular
Depop?
one.
Is it Etsy?
No,
Etsy's
Etsy
one, I
works,
think.
but there's a popular one that is just about vintage clothing.
Oh, I don't know that one.
I think Depop is like a website where you can make an account and just put up like individual items of clothing for sale.
Yeah, Gwen spends all
Poshmark?
day flipping through, what is it?
Poshmark?
Gwen spends all
Yeah,
day
that
flipping
too.
through Depop and Poshmark. Like all day trying to get shirts that say like, you know, World Tour, like Britney Spears World Tour, like 1995 or something.
Yeah. Also, the other thing, I mean, so I actually didn't graduate from college, and I'm a dysfunctional learner, but Brian, when he went, he really did make an effort to completely take the whole thing in, and he talked about a lot of young people that were just drifting through the whole thing, sleeping, not paying attention. So if you have the extra time and you can devote it towards your education, it's gonna pay off in the long run. It might cost you more money.
Oh yeah, I'm in graduate school too,
Yeah.
so I've done the college thing.
Okay.
I'm doing more school now.
Okay, I didn't
yeah.
know that. Okay, but I mean, I don't know. I think just the more time you can devote to that is probably going to pay off more than time spent, you know, taking orders from somebody else for no money.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Thanks for calling in, though. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for taking my call. Awesome. Cool. Hopefully talk to you soon.
All right, yeah. Let us know how it goes. Peace out.
Yeah. Bye.
We saved it. I thought we were going to lose him at the beginning.
I remember, I don't know why I remember this so vividly, but when I was in the 8th grade, there was this kid that came in with a Whitesnake t-shirt, and it was a t-shirt that his dad got when he was in school. It
Nice.
said like Whitesnake 1987 tour, and it had all the dates on it, and he was the coolest person in the world. Everybody was mobbing him over this t-shirt.
Nice.
That's a weird age.
It is. I did the same thing. There was a picture. I feel like I've told this a million times. There's a picture of me in the newspaper shopping for clothes when I was like 15 at the thrift store, and it was like, kids these days aren't going to the new rack. They're looking back in time, you know, and then they wrote all about it. But that's also what I was doing. I was buying band t-shirts. I would find band t-shirts because they were so hot, and I would resell them when I was like 16. I had a PayPal account, and PayPal would give me my money. I could ask for a check back in those days, and I would just sell shit on eBay all the time. It was easy.
There's a place here on High Street next to UDF and Jimmy John's. It's almost like the hipster Goodwill. It's like, I think that they like kind of dredge thrift stores and stuff like that, because you go in there and it's all like, it's Ohio State sweaters and stuff like that, but it's like the sweater that they sold when they made the Rose Bowl 25 years ago.
Yeah,
It's
good
like
stuff.
Yeah, it's
It's
all
a tasty vintage.
yeah.
Which one is that? Out of the closet?
It's something underground.
Oh, I
It's,
haven't been.
Vintage Underground.
I don't
Yeah.
know that one.
Yeah.
it's like a thrift store, but for only like quote unquote cool things.
See, there's Out of the Closet is a really good one that offers free HIV screening and does a lot of community outreach, but they also comb through the stuff so that you're not
Yeah.
like touching grody clothes.
And the clothes are thrift store prices. That's
And they
another
are
thing
also cheaper, yeah.
You run into these vintage shops, which is one of the reasons why I'm saying you should do it, is because
People got money to
Kill.
spend on it, yeah.
like you know, they're
I
buying
mean,
like
I did it
shirts-
for years.
They're buying shirts for like $30 or $40 that if you just went and combed through Goodwill and picked them up, it would be
Yeah,
you're making like it's spending $4 or something and making all that rest in profit.
Dude, Ohio Thrift still has half price Wednesdays every single month where you can just run through and grab everything you want for half price.
They feel picked over more now, though. Like, for some reason, like, I felt really lucky I found that Dr. Laura board game. Like, I never imagined, but I mean,
There's a lot of those.
there's like a lot of gold. Yeah, you just don't see it anywhere.
The thing is, you have to go consistently.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is that sometimes I would find one thing, sometimes I would find 12 things. So, and
Yeah.
you have to keep going back. They're never picked through because they're always getting new stuff. And somebody took some old Yves Saint Laurent belt and, you know, just accidentally threw it in the donate pile, and you can go sell it for $120
They got a
online.
Carl Kanai shirt. That's what I want, a Carl Kanai shirt.
I don't know if how much those probably aren't going for much these days.
What?
I think he's still making them. Actually, didn't we look that up? I was trying to get one. They still have one with the metal plate, like a heritage metal plate.
Yeah.
Carl Kanai
What
shirt.
the
I'd
hell
wear
are
a
you
Carl
talking
Kanai
about?
shirt.
You don't
See,
remember Carl
that's what's
Kanai?
cool is
It was these jeans that they would put like a metal plate, like a steel plate that had his signature on it, on like the back pocket. They were awesome, and they always had good colors. It was like oranges and greens and yellows, really brightly colored stuff. But it would just have his signature. It would just say Kanai really big
Oh,
on the
no.
front.
They're selling it at Urban Outfitters now. I
Okay.
knew it was going to come back. I knew it. We should have bought them before.
Yep, that sucks. All right, let's see who's on the line. This is not a vintage chat podcast. This is a very serious, revolutionary podcast, folks. Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to?
Hey, what's up?
Not much. How about
Can you
yourself?
hear me?
Yeah.
I'm good. This is Jeff Wood in Texas.
What's up, Jeff Wood? What's going on in Texas?
Oh, I had a.
No, what
it's raining a lot.
Yeah. What were you calling for? I'm sorry I cut you off there.
I had a. Oh, no worries, man. I had a story of Anarchy at Costco.
Okay.
Oh, great. That's a great place for it.
Yeah. So, I got in line at the cafe to get a slice of pizza, and when I got there, it was one line going to 2 registers. So this agent of chaos behind me suggested we, as customers, split into 2 lines at the 2 registers.
Okay.
So that was going fine. And then suddenly one of the registers closed, and there were 2 lines still. So, and next person in line at the register that closed was this, like, 60-year-old dad dude, like New Balances, white calf-high socks,
Nice.
like cargo shorts that are above the knee, that whole outfit.
Yeah.
And he went, "Excuse me, miss, are you closing? Is someone else going to open?" And this, harangued, like, 20-year-old at the other register was like, I'm sorry, she's on lunch. And he just sat there for, I don't know, a minute. And he went, "Excuse me, I need someone to take control. I need someone to take control."
Oh, wow. He needs a leader. I need a hero right now.
Yeah.
That is.
But I had my pizza at that point, so.
So the line didn't here's the thing. The line shouldn't have split. You should stand in one line and take turns going back and forth depending on which register opens up. That's the most egalitarian way to do that situation.
That is. I didn't even think about that. I don't mind the splitting into 2 lines, but the second line was probably just people that was in the back. You know?
Yeah, you don't
like
know.
they got
Totally.
the ditch.
You got a zipper.
Yeah,
you got to do
that
the
dad
zipper
got
method.
screwed over by the split.
You got a zipper.
Yeah.
Every other.
I had a weird sort of thing like that happen to me.
So wait, did everybody just get in line again? Or you just got your pizza and dipped?
I did. Yeah, it was. There was a lot of anger going on in that line, so I don't know how they worked it out.
Please, we need to start a council, a line council.
Yeah,
Somebody
exactly.
take control.
Can I speak to your manager over line control?
Please tell me where I need to be, ma'am.
I went to a Love's truck stop. I like those truck stops. They're okay.
They're good.
I needed to pick some medicine up real quick on my drive home from stargazing last night. So I get in line. There's nobody at the register. There's nobody in the room except for one other guy, right? And he's getting tornadoes and a fountain drink and like a couple other things. So I'm standing at the register to pay, but there's nobody there. But then he gets in line behind me and stands at the register. Because I was just about to be like, I'm just going to walk out with this shit. But then there was another guy there kind of policing me in a way. Like,
Sure.
he didn't say anything. And part of me was like, maybe if I walk, he'll walk. And then we both just get stuff for free.
Yeah, you never know.
But I was afraid to talk to him. Like, I didn't want to suggest, like, let's just go. Like, what are we doing here? You know?
Right. What's the point? Who's
So-
going to stop us?
Anarchy works. I'm telling you. Anarchy works. That's anarchy. It's like the honor system. Like, we will pressure each other into being decent.
That's true.
You know? Because I was ready to grab some Reese's cups and some other stuff and just take a walk. And then the woman did come out. She probably would have got in trouble
Sure.
if we would have done that, too.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if we would have just
Maybe
walked.
not. They're probably not checking them.
Oh,
cameras.
hell no, they don't check them. We've learned that now that they don't check the cameras. But
True.
if they did check the cameras, by any chance she would have lost her job. But it worked out. In the end, everybody got their pizzas, right?
He doesn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he knows. They all got their pizzas. That's the happy ending of the story. That's how Anarchy will work. If we toss the shackles of hierarchy off, everybody will get their pizza. I promise. Okay?
Makes sense. Well, thanks for calling in. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Looking forward to you guys touring once that gets sorted. So.
Hell yeah.
And we just got back.
We're working on it. It's scary to think about touring right now. You got to give us a couple weeks before we start getting serious about it again. All right. Thanks for calling, Jeff Wood.
All right.
That's
Nice
a
talking to
good
you.
story. That's a good. I like to hear positive stories.
How is that positive? Sound like someone got screwed.
Who got screwed?
The guy that was waiting in a line and then he didn't get his pizza.
He's gonna live, dude. He's fine now, and
Well,
he
shouldn't
got
the other
his
person
pizza.
shouldn't there's two lines of shuffled cards
I
together?
agree. Hey, I agree that Zipper is the right way to do everything, but we live in a crummy society where everybody thinks they're being screwed 100% of the time.
True.
And
But
Zipper
they are.
but Zipper, they think they're getting screwed by each other.
Sure.
You know what I mean? We're
When
all
everybody
screwing
is
each other.
actively-
We're getting screwed, but by other people, And that, the reason Zipper method in traffic doesn't work is because once that car passes you to get over in the front, you're going to be like, oh, so what they had to do was more important than what I had to do, I guess. Even though it's more efficient, it's just not realistic in this world that we live in. Zipper method is not.
I'm forcing zippers on everybody.
I'm a strong zipper proponent.
I go right up to the front. I'm like, excuse me, we're going to start mashing us together now. I'm first.
I think they should make zipper signs and put them up on
They
the highway.
should.
The
'Cause
on-ramps and the off-ramps.
It's currently frowned upon.
People will get it.
It's frowned upon now. It's
It is.
wrong. Everybody that when you zipper, you're just automatically considered a piece of shit. So,
Well, I'm fine with that, actually. I don't let other people define my self-worth. Thank you very much. Let's see who's on the phone here. Thank you for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to?
Hey, you don't hear me?
Yeah, you just catch a football or something? Someone throw the phone to you?
Pulling them headphones out. It's Wrath of Mangelo calling in from Dallas.
Hey, how's it going, buddy?
It's going all right. I hope you're all having a lovely, relaxing evening.
Yes.
I'm up here burning the midnight oil again for a deadline. Not getting paid overtime as per usual.
That's awful. How often is that happening?
Yeah. Well, it's every couple months. But I've got a nice little scheme running that I typically take a vacation right after the deadline and just roll some of that overtime into my what would be my paid time off.
Oh, okay.
So I'll I'll just charge it to the project because they should be paying for it anyway.
It's a good system. Makes sense. You need a recovery time.
Yeah, pretty much. I didn't have much specific to talk about today other than if y'all were interested in being pissed off about the bullshit that popped off in Dallas a couple weeks back with the police woman shooting this fucking guy in his own damn apartment.
yeah, we were actually on the road when that happened, so we didn't really even talk much about it. But we were, honestly, and this is no bullshit, Brett and I talked about it a lot when we were traveling, though.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
I mean, more stuff kept coming out. And even now, now that this marijuana stuff and search warrants and all that, it's just making it 10 times worse. It's just a bigger tragedy. They just keep making it worse.
yeah, Ralph, let me ask you this. Is what is the average people? What are people saying? Are they defending the police? There can't be too many defenders of this one, right?
I mean, it depends on who you ask. If you were to just open up the Dallas Morning News or all of the major
journalistic outlets, it's all just being stenographers for all the police agencies. I mean, they're passing off everything that the Dallas Police Department says just as fact. Nobody's really pushing back. It's just there's like a couple of smaller outlets that are actually challenging it. One of the better guys who's keeping an eye on it is Barrett Brown, who was
that again? The phone cut out like right when you said his name.
Barrett Brown. He was a journalist who got slammed by the fucking feds a couple of years back for reporting on some scheme that the old Internet Anonymous group was running on like this private contractor intelligence agency, and he shared a hyperlink that included a link to a bunch of credit cards that this firm was using, and the feds went after him and put him in. I mean, it's the same, it's like all the same shit for whenever people or whistleblowers get charged by the feds. They just piled on 12 years of charges on him. I think he only served 4 or 5, but he was doing dispatches from prison, and the feds are still fucking with him to this day. But he's not afraid to hold the local news outlets to account, and it seems like he's pissing off people. And at the Dallas Morning News, so solidarity to Barrett.
How about
he keeps?
What about with coworkers and stuff though, or just around town?
I mean, it's like it all depends on who you're talking to.
Okay.
I honestly haven't even talked to my parents about it. They're typically my bellwether for the normie feeling.
Sure.
I've been so fucking busy this last week and a half or so. I haven't really had the chance to talk to people about it.
Yeah, it's wild. This sort of
This
thing.
is terrible.
This is the worst story I can think of.
Yeah.
It's so obvious.
It's fucking crazy.
They're smearing the guy too,
Yeah.
and that's what's really sad.
It's very nakedly, and it's just so sad that everybody is still just trained to respond with, oh wow, well, he did have drugs in his household, that adds something.
I guess he deserves to die. Then what's the fucking point?
Yeah, it doesn't make a lick of sense, but it does to people that have been trained by the way that things go, right? What we expect from these things is that we're going to find out why they're going to justify it,
Yeah, and it's something that honestly,
try to justify it.
It seems like it's. Here's the thing. It seems like you could give them the benefit of the doubt, or that being that she's a cop, that the judge and the jury and everybody and the prosecutor are going to give her the benefit of the doubt because she's a cop, and they just do that. She's going to get very charitable in this case. So there is no real reason to smear this guy, right? Why do it? They don't have to justify it. It is, I guess, an honest mistake, but it's an honest mistake that she murdered somebody, and she has to face the consequences that other people who murder people get. She wasn't even on the fucking
It's such a great
anyway.
distillation of it's just such a great distillation of the completely unequal treatment of police and citizens under the law. I mean, we want to talk about the lofty ideals of the rule of law and not rule of men, but fucking the two-tier justice system. I mean, that's just for cops and white civilians. Not even talking about cops and black civilians. But it's such a raw distillation that she shoots someone, they die, and she's not even arrested for 3 days.
Yeah.
Right, and yeah.
Sorry, go
What
ahead.
were you gonna say? Well, it doesn't say. I know that like this even comes off as like defending or whatever. It doesn't. She could very possibly have fucked up, but like if Brett did what she did, he'd be in jail and he would be ready to go to prison.
But in according to every meme that I see online, if I think somebody is in my home, I have the right to turn him into Swiss cheese, right?
Yeah.
And so it doesn't matter what the badge or any of that. But if I did that, it would not be the same.
No, nobody gets that privilege except for cops who act like the whole world is constantly coming after them. But the fact is, us not liking them is such a small little piece of that job where everybody loves them and they get away with actual murder oftentimes.
I don't understand how any of this works. I don't understand how she got into the place.
Drunk. I mean,
But she was, yeah.
we have all known people who have walked into the wrong apartment.
Yeah, it's true.
I've known 100 people who have walked into the wrong apartment. But this says something about how the police feel that they get to deal with things. Like, she walked into the apartment and it seemed like she was like excited to sort of shoot someone, because they have like a whole bunch of steps between shooting somebody, no matter what the situation should be. Like if she walks into this house and there's a person in there and she has a gun and she's pointing a gun at a person, then maybe let it play out.
They never do. Yeah,
I know that they don't have to.
No,
Right,
that's
because-
all.
yeah, they
That's
don't
all
have to.
movie fantasy that we're supposed to think that's what's guiding their hand, but it's all like fear and protection from the union.
They're professionals.
And before you even get to that point of that actual interaction, like the police department and the fucking Texas Rangers, in between public statements and leaks that go to the bootlicking media, to the fucking arrest affidavit for this woman, that like there's 2 or 3 distinct stories that are all being pushed out by the police about what went down. So we have don't even fucking know what the interaction was like. That's just adding to the just immense amounts of frustration.
Right, and the thing we're saying too is they're like, oh well, the police department isn't investigating it now. The Texas Rangers are investigating it, but like, who cares? You know what I mean? Like, they're cops. They're all cops, and they all take care of each other. It is a gang. They take care of each other the same way I would take care of Brett. They take care of each other the same way that you would take care of somebody that you care about or somebody that you're associated with. I would take care of anybody that's like involved with this show. You know, we do the fundraising things and stuff like that, and like
One coming soon.
yeah,
maybe.
coming soon. So just hold on. But when people are in trouble, like, you rally around them. But the difference between me rallying around somebody and the police rallying around somebody is that they have all of the power. They have all the power, and they always win. You know, I don't have a lot of faith that. I think she might do some time, but I don't have faith that she does. I have 5 years, maybe. I would say 5 years.
We'll see. I don't know. They did just sentence that there was a guy in Texas that shot a teenager that was leaving a party.
I read about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and they gave them 15 years, right? I think is what it was, or 12 years, something like that.
And that was suburban Dallas.
That was suburban Dallas. Yes.
Okay. Well, I hope something bad happens to a cop, of course, and something bad like that happens to a cop, like goes to jail. Fine. Who cares?
Well, I mean, this is. That is some sort of hope that maybe something could come from this, but the whole thing and the way they conduct themselves just indicates why they shouldn't be in charge. These people can't be trusted with the power because of the way that they treat the citizens that they're supposed to be protecting and serving. They're not doing this guy any justice. Botham Jean is his name. Rest in peace. They're not doing him any justice by trying to slander him so that some cops fuck up. Doesn't make them look bad.
Such a cop thing to do. Make it weed too. You know what I mean? It's such a like they found weed. Like nobody cares about people doing weed. That doesn't make you a bad person,
Right?
Like, but
Yeah,
to
that
them,
doesn't-
that's what they think. You know?
That's what's so gross, so indicative is that they're using that as some way to slander him when like every motherfucking suburban family is on gummies when they go to the drive-in, you know?
Yeah, that exactly. I'm looking for songs to play during the break because the phone's picked up. So, we can take one more and then take a break and then take the rest of these calls. I
Did
think.
Mangelo hang up?
Mangelo, you here? He hung up on us.
Wow.
Before
That's
we
a
could
first.
tell him
just
we
got-
appreciate him, he hung up. I like that though.
He
I
gets
like when
around.
people to hang up.
Yeah, he was just like, yeah, fuck y'all, whatever. I knew what you were gonna say anyways.
I'm dying. I just was teeing you up to talk about this horrible thing. I do. I know 100 people. I'm like everybody I know has walked into the wrong house.
Sure.
Trash.
It has happened to me
It's
too, yeah.
Never. I don't know. I can't.
And it's in Dallas when I lived in groups with like 16 apartments all together, and someone just missed the wrong door, crawled their way to the wrong door.
Yeah, but like they don't shoot anybody.
No. No, and this is the problem with all of it is that they pull that weapon way too much, and there's no reason. They're too jumpy with those fucking things.
They don't need
can't
those
be
weapons.
trusted with them.
They don't need them. They shouldn't have them, and they
if
don't need
somebody
them.
was in your house, you should fucking run like everybody else. Just get the fuck out of there.
Exactly. Yes.
Somebody's in your house with a goddamn gun. Go away as fast as you fucking can.
We'll call the gun police, and they'll come and handle it. Like we'll have gun people, right?
Right.
Like you can run back and grab a gun and go and shoot the guy or whatever like that.
Right. Go get in a gunfight.
Yeah.
I got to shoot a gun today.
Really?
I've been practicing.
You
All you lefties out there should do it. It rattles you. You need to do it. You need to know what it's like to have that power.
I've shot a few guns.
I'm just saying.
In a really
Re-up
irresponsible
on
way.
Re-up.
Yeah.
We were blasting a chair apart. Real country shit.
Nice. That's cool. You had a better day than me.
Yeah, it wasn't so bad. All right, let's see who's on the phone here next.
I made a terrific eggplant parmesan today.
Hello.
Oh, I love that. Oh, I'd love to try it.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going? We're trying to talk about
Hey,
eggplant
can you guys
parmesan,
hear me?
dude. Yes.
What up?
Not much.
What's up? This is Jay in Seattle.
What's up, Jay? How you doing tonight?
Hey, we're planning on coming soon. I'm convincing my wife.
Oh yeah. I'm calling to talk about my time in the legal weed industry.
Great.
Oh my God!
Actually.
Brett's been doing a joke on the latest tour. Brett was doing jokes about working in the lead industry.
No, the weed
Yeah,
industry.
well-
Oh, I thought you said leads. Like legal
No,
leads.
Not insurance leads. No.
Yeah.
no,
Okay.
like cannabis.
Oh, okay.
And I'm
Marijuana.
calling. Yeah, I'm calling to tell you that it's kind of fucked up.
Oh, I bet. The breweries
But,
aren't any better.
Yeah, I mean, like, basically, sort of like small business tyrant story. I worked at this one company, and it was sort of like, I'm not gonna name. I don't know. I don't know if I'll name names or not.
All right.
But
You
it's
don't
sort of
have
like
to.
the Yelp of cannabis, I guess, is the best way of putting it. Like you can.
Okay, so Leafly.
Yeah, perhaps. Maybe that place.
yeah.
Yeah, like I was working there as an intern, and it was just sort of eye-opening to see how many people were just straight up in this shit just for the money. Like
Yeah, makes the world go
they
round.
had a bunch of people. Yeah, they had a bunch of people working there who were like pretty cool stonery people who like cared about like diversity and like inclusion and like like justice surrounding like cannabis and shit like that. But the rest of the people, like all the people who ran it, were just all just like ex-Amazon, ex-Microsoft people who were just in it for all of the money that it was
Cutthroat
going to
business
make.
people. Yeah, they wanted to be able to legally sell drugs and be ruthless as as the fucking cartel.
And they made a good point when on this call. It's like I bet a lot of people that actually are there are probably a high amount of people that are in it for like medical stuff,
Helping change people's lives, yeah.
helping to help people and
Sure,
stuff like that.
yeah,
but all the people
there
running
are.
it are scum, you know.
Oh my God, yeah, I'll get to that too. But yeah, they're like a lot of the people involved are just like all about. It's called the Green Rush, I guess, and they're just like a bunch of white dudes who were just like, if this was anything else, if this was like, if Bitcoin, which they were still looking into, they'd be all about it. Which I'm sure they still are because they just want a fuck ton of money. And so we'd have all these ridiculous meetings with all these dumb platitudes where they're like the whole is greater than the sum of all of our parts or whatever. And there was this huge disconnect between the people who like were in the C-level executives and all the people who were doing like the cool like videos or writing or shit like that. But anyway, what happened is I ended up leaving that company because I didn't get offered a job after my internship, which kind of sucked. But I found out that they hired a new CEO because they were looking for a new CEO and basically just like got rid of pretty much everyone except for a bunch of coders and just like got rid of all the people that like made the company, like somewhat cool or somewhat like cannabis aware or relevant. And apparently the CEO they hired had a history of liking alt-right tweets.
Oh, Jesus.
So, yeah. So like, it's just like,
Well, I got to say, man.
Total. Yeah.
I gotta say, last year we went to the Electric Canna Carnival, which was this marijuana festival in Michigan, and we did buy a bunch of weed illegally. Like we should have had a doctor's note and all of this stuff, but we had an artist pass, so we were still able to go. And we talked. So they had basically in Michigan. It's changed recently, but what they had before was a system where they made selling weed legal, but they set up no system to get people registered to like sell it, grow it, do all that stuff. And after a few years, people just started doing it on their own, and all of a sudden, these little stores popped up with the green cross on it, and folks started buying it, and nobody stepped in, and no police officer stopped and busted it, and no one interrupted. And I had to say, the people that I met were business owners there that were making products like weed-infused Hennessy and Kool-Aids and tinctures and everything under the sun. These were all folks that they didn't have a dime to their name before weed, they were people that, one lady said, I barely graduated from high school and I never thought I would own a business in my life. So it really did offer a lot of opportunity for people that, were already using weed every single day when it was illegal and aren't jumping into it just because you can make a whole bunch of money off of it now.
Yeah, no, I'm for sure. And there are plenty of people like that. And it was kind of funny seeing these like ex-Microsoft people like working with like products called like Vape Dragon or something like that when they were like working at way more like straight-laced situation. But a little bit after that, I ended up working for a different dispensary where they were actually wanting to expand into Ohio and Michigan and California. You guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sorry. And what happened was it was sort of my first experience with like a small business tyrant because the guy who ran the dispensary, first of all, they hired me and they said they couldn't give me any benefits or anything like that, or they couldn't pay for this thing called an Orca card, which is a card that gets you to and from on the Seattle Metro system.
Okay.
And so, I was like, okay, I guess it's sort of a startup, they can't. And they were paying me in cash too because it was a cannabis company and they paid everyone in cash.
Okay.
But I started following one of the dudes that worked there. I started following their Instagram, and he's sort of a upper level executive kind of, or friends with the CEO, and they go to Vegas for this one weekend. And so this guy is just updating his Instagram story about their trip to Las Vegas. And throughout the whole, I can see everything that's happening. And in it, I can see the CEO gambling with wads of cash in his hand.
God damn.
I can see them eating dumplings with literal plates of gold on them,
Holy
little
shit.
flecks of gold on the dumplings.
Whoa.
At these fucking shishi meetings they're having with these other white dudes that are just gonna fucking own the next cannabis fucking cannabis credit card venture or whatever. And I'm like, you said that you can't pay for my metro system.
Hey, you know, we
when
gotta,
I'm literally watching you, like
we gotta
fucking
tighten
eat
our belts,
dumplings
man.
with gold on them. Yeah.
Yeah, this thing
it
doesn't
was-
run unless I have my gambling money. You know.
we need to stay flexible.
Yeah, I'm like watching him like, and there's one part where, in the story where like they're watching a street musician and he like reaches into his pocket and pulls out like a wad of cash to give to the fucking street musician. Like,
Wow.
Anyway, that job didn't end up working out, but
Dude,
if you
that's
guys are coming
crazy.
back, yeah, it's so like basically, you know, people have a word for these guys. They're called like cannabis colonists or something like that. You know, just a bunch of white
Colonialists?
dudes who like colonialists. Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, sorry. Like a bunch of, you know, all these black dudes are in jail. Or like that guy you said in Dallas is getting smeared for having a bunch of weed after getting fucking murdered by the police in his
Yeah.
own, you know, house. Like, weed is legal here, and it's really cool, but, like, the last example I'll give, there's, on 23rd and Union in Seattle, it's a neighborhood I went to high school in, and it was called the Central District, and it was, like, a really big black neighborhood, and it's getting gentrified to hell right now. And one of the main gentrifiers is a weed store right on 23rd and Union,
Yeah.
which used to be one of the most dangerous corners in Seattle, I guess, but, like, a lot of people were selling weed there just like on the street, and now there's a huge place called Uncle Ike's. It's this gigantic weed store with a glass store next to it, and they bought out the whole corner and a gas station. This is a weed store that owns, or sorry, not a gas station, a drive-through car wash.
Oh
This,
wow.
This
That's
fucking
grody.
dispensary owns it, and apparently
That's kind of like that's
apparently the-
weird. That's like those
Yeah.
fried chicken and 40 upscale restaurants. Because
Sure,
car wash
yeah.
is
I mean-
car wash is a famous way to launder drug money. They made a good movie about it.
Yeah, I guess. And like the dude's name is Uncle Ike or Ike something, but I mean like his straight like the chain of stores is called Uncle Ike's, and apparently he put the store in the Central District to sort of like rid it of black people. Like he's known for
Oh,
being like
God.
a pretty openly racist dude.
Jesus.
So, and you know, like there are people like black people who live in the Central District who be like, yeah, my relative is in jail for selling weed on that corner when it was illegal, and now people are quite literally selling weed on that corner. It's just in a big, nice dispensary.
Oh, God,
So
that's
yeah,
fucking
I mean,
awful.
if you come out, I mean, there are tons of other awesome like small dispensaries. Like right across the street is a little place called Ponder, which is an awesome little like mom and pop dispensary. But yeah, I just wanted to bitch about that, and
Yeah, the
you guys
thing-
are an awesome show to do that
thing
on.
that
So,
sucks,
yeah.
man, is you always think that weed is gonna make people like feel more connected with everybody and like the brotherhood
Yeah.
and sisterhood and non-binaryhood
Mhm.
of like living together and to life and all of that, but it really makes just some of them extra red hot racist.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like it was, I was, in high school, like when we were smoking weed, we were like, one day this will probably be legal, man. There's probably going to be like drive-throughs or whatever, and like it's come to that point, and it's been pretty cool. And like my dad, like one time I went out to go buy some weed, and my dad was like, "Why don't you smoke the weed I bought already here?" Like it was like a carton of milk or something.
That's awesome.
But like, yeah, it's pretty chill. But like, it's kind of just a bummer knowing about like seeing this other side of it, and knowing that there's like this huge, sort of social justice or criminal justice side that's totally overlooked by these people. So, yeah. But yeah, Seattle is still a fun place to visit if you're coming.
Yeah, we'll be there. Like I said, we're gonna fly out on like Christmas, so we're probably gonna do a show on like 26th, 27th, maybe probably the 27th in
dope.
Seattle.
Yeah.
So I think I definitely want to make it happen. So,
We're shooting for it.
Mm-hmm.
There's-
and we
Cool.
also I'm gonna talk to
Sweet.
Taco Cat because hopefully they'll be there and they'll hang out with us.
Oh yeah. Taco
what?
Cat's pretty cool.
We
yeah.
love them, huh? Taco Cat the band.
You like talk to them? You know them?
Yeah. They invited me out. They invited both of us out to their show when they played in Columbus. I got to talk to him.
That's tight.
Their guitarist is a really big Street Fight fan, and they roasted him about it on stage. Like they were literally like, He said he was on stage and he said, "Who listens to WCRS?" And they were like, "Oh my God, are you talking about that show you listen to?" And he's like, "Are they here in the crowd right now?" And they're like, "Welcome Brett Payne from Street Fight." And I got a round of applause at the Taco Cat show.
I didn't
dope.
go that night.
It was
I wish I
fucking
had.
worth it. It was a good show. I loved it. All right,
That's
thanks
tight.
for
Yeah,
calling in, man. I
They're a
appreciate
pretty
it.
cool Seattle band. Yeah, thanks so much, guys. Keep doing what you're doing.
We will. All right.
I need just 1 second. You can do your.
I need
whatever.
a second too. I'm trying to switch some stuff over here. Thank you for listening to the show, though. We are Street Fight Radio. We do this every single Sunday at about 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when we start it up. You can call in 614-412-5252 is the number. It's the same number every single week. It's not like a Google Voice Hangout or any of that shit. We are on the Pacifica Radio Network, broadcasting from the Free Press Studios here in Columbus, Ohio, on our flat Earth, the Arawak City. We will return after this break if Brian can get things together, but maybe he can't. I'm not sure. We are going to be at the Brake Light Clinic for the DSA in Columbus. So if you're listening right now, be there this Friday. It's going down September 21st. I hope that's the right day.
So
is that right?
It is Friday, September 21st. So we're gonna play some vaporwave, so that we don't have to turn the sound off on the Twitch stream. They can listen to some vaporwave, and we'll be right back.
I like that album.
All right.
say no. Don't 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 say no. say no. Saying no, it shouldn't. Keep holding out, but you don't let go. I'm giving up on trying to sell you things that you ain't buying. I'm giving up on trying to sell you things that you ain't buying. So I've made up my mind. Time is running out. Make a move. Oh, we can go on. Do you understand? It's all in your head. It's your
Hey, Street Fighters. We're back from the break. Thanks for being here. Folks watching live on Facebook and Twitch. Twitch.tv/StreetFightRadio. Facebook.com/StreetFightWCRS. We also have a very exclusive Facebook group. You got to ask for permission to get in, and we have some very tough cops that patrol the group that will not let you in if you're on some bullshit. So answer the questions, answer them the right way. The earth is flat. The worst color for shirts is yellow. We are Street Fight Radio. We're taking calls. You ready to get into this?
Let's get these calls out. Let's let the people have their voice.
Thank you for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to? Oh, no. Hold on. Hey, now we got you. What's up?
You're talking to Mitch.
Hey, Mitch. How's it going?
Oh, it's going pretty good. Pretty drunk, but pretty good, you know.
All right. Well,
What you drinking?
Drinking a couple bottles of wine.
Oh,
But,
very fancy.
Well, Brett's here like very fancy. All he drinks is wine now.
When I did the show in Iowa, I was just drinking wine because it was like $2 a glass. But then afterwards, Iowa Amanda, I stand with Amanda. She's like, "Are you drinking wine?" I was like, "Well, not anymore." The way that you fucking asked that question.
Yeah, he's a fancy wine drinker. He's like Danzig or like
Yeah.
Peter Steele drinking wine up there.
I'm like Christ.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta say, I'm probably a little bit less classy than you guys. I mean, 2 bottle, or I guess $2 a glass is a little bit less than $3 a bottle. So
$3 Chuck, right? Is that the $3 Chuck?
$3 Chuck.
Charles Shaw.
Yeah.
It's not 2 anymore?
Yeah.
It's 3 now.
Yeah,
or
things
4.
are going up.
Rest
Yeah.
in peace.
Well, what's going on tonight,
I'm
Mitch?
not much really. Just sad that I missed you guys in Des Moines. Really, to be honest.
Oh, really? Yeah, it was a fun show.
Yeah.
Des Moines is a very small place.
Yeah. I'm up in Iowa City, so it's like, I don't know, 3 times as small or something. So it's
Really?
fucking shit.
But like, here's the thing. After we did Des Moines, every single person I talked to were like, "You should have done Iowa City." And every single person said that.
I think people
Yeah.
just think you should have done the city that they came from or lived in. You know what I
Well,
mean?
I
Like,
mean,
that's a lot of the thing.
makes
Because that's
sense,
how I
yeah.
am, too. I'm like, people who come through Columbus, I'm like, you should have done it, or Cleveland. I'm like, you should have done Columbus. But I'm really only saying that because then I don't have to drive 2.5 hours to get to you.
I did want to talk to you guys real quick. I listened to like an episode like a couple episodes ago because I'm kind of new, like probably like 2 or 3 months backlog for me,
Oh,
like
all right.
recently. But I want to talk to
Thanks
you
for
guys
being
about
here.
like the addiction sort of stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just like in terms of like mandatory addiction rehab and like cops pulling you over and that sort of shit.
Okay, yeah.
What's been your experience?
Well, like I ended up fucking like having a horrible time and like basically pretty much like falling in a river and not realizing it and like getting in a hospital.
Off
And,
some
like,
drugs?
No, just like fucking drinking with some homeless people, to be honest.
Okay.
So like I got in the hospital and didn't realize like what really happened, and like got sort of admitted to like this sort of I guess like a rehab program in the hospital. And like while I was in it, it was like 10 or 12 people basically. And like 2 or 3 of the people that were in there for fucking like getting pulled over by cops while they were high on like marijuana.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus.
They send
And they
a
had
lot
to
of
fucking go to
marijuana.
rehab.
Yeah, they send a lot of marijuana people to rehab for some reason, and it's such a weird
It
thing.
was total bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Like-
they had that hanging over my head. I mean, in Virginia, could have totally done like mandatory classes every single week and getting drug tested every single week, and like
Yeah.
so that I can turn my life around, so I wouldn't end up where I am.
I guess I always wonder, like, what that means to the people that are there because they really need help. Like, that has to be harmful for them to see all these people in there that aren't taking it seriously because they probably don't really need to. They got pulled over and just found at a time in their life when they were stoned, and now they have to deal with it, you know?
Oh yeah, I mean there were like probably at least 3 people in there that were like hardcore heroin addicts since they were like 16 for like the past 15 years. Just like I can't imagine what it's like for you to like look over at this dude that doesn't take it seriously and like doesn't show up at anything.
And doesn't care.
And not the same you're not the same. That's not the same group of people that we have here. There's different needs for these groups here. They can't just
Yeah.
like herd them all together and make them sign a pledge and do a packet.
Yeah, it was ridiculous to think that you could group everybody that was like rounded up in some sort of drug offense into one major group and have them all talk about how they felt about how anything was affecting them. Like, I don't know. That was stupid.
That's frustrating.
And forcing
Yeah.
people to go to rehab just seems so counterproductive. It seems so pointless to me because then if they do need to go to rehab later, they might just decide that it's pointless and it doesn't mean anything because they were there for no reason. So then when they really need it, they're not going to want to go or not less likely to go and things like that. It's
That's
just
that's a very sensible line of thought. I could see being forced into it and then later being like, I don't want to fucking go there. I know exactly what they're going to do to me,
Yep. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was basically like go to jail or go to rehab.
Yeah.
Pick
And
one.
Everybody's going to pick rehab. Actually, I know a lot of people who have picked jail because it was a short amount of time.
Yeah. My friend's
Yeah.
dad did it. Well, Brian's gonna barf. Sorry, I didn't know what to say because he just said that to me, and I panicked and just repeated what he mouthed at me. So
hold it down
sorry
for me,
about
folks.
that.
I'm gonna go take care of myself.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Brian, maybe I'll go in through the archives and I'll try to look for it. But Brian has gone into some of this. We've done some of this on the show because we do know a lot of people in our friend groups that have passed because of addiction, and they were forced to go through different programs at times in their lives, and it's, it ultimately didn't end up working. And the system we have is so evidently broken, and it's even more maddening because the people that are subjected to it know that up front, that like this isn't going to be my path to bettering my life by getting screamed at or looked down by these people and agreeing to never do a substance ever again in my life.
Yeah, it's definitely sort of a shame culture, and I certainly listened to like one of those episodes recently, so I can definitely like get on board with what you guys are saying.
Well, thanks,
sure.
man. We appreciate it. I mean, we believe in harm.
Yeah, for sure.
Harm reduction and all of that, and
yeah.
If it just makes things so much easier. They get no results by running things like this. They're not winning this war at all by punishing people or throwing them in jail or forcing them to go through any sort of treatment programs. It's just not getting results, and everybody involved knows it.
Yep.
But, sorry, thanks. We got more calls to take.
Nah.
I just get all hot
Yeah,
and angry,
yeah.
and then I don't know what to say. Brian usually adds
Take
some
fucking
levity.
calls, man.
We appreciate it. Thanks for calling in. Feel free to call back. Thanks for your time. I say
Yeah,
just
thanks, bro,
say
Brian.
Thanks a million times. All right. Well, I don't know what Brian is doing. He is, probably never going to figure this kratom thing out ever, probably. It's the way I think.
I started taking it with a big glass of grapefruit juice.
Yeah, that's supposed to be pretty good.
Yeah, because 2 teaspoons is kind of the most I can handle. If I do more than that, I just feel hungover.
Okay.
Like I feel like dry mouth and my head hurts and my stomach hurts and stuff. But I remember that vaguely from doing drugs in high school. Something with grapefruit, there's like enzymes in your liver.
Yeah.
And you metabolize less of it, or you metabolize it more slowly. So I kind of have the buzz of a bigger dose without the stomach ache of a bigger dose.
Yeah, it's potentiator, I think.
Yeah,
is what they
something
call
like
it.
that.
I've been making the tea, which is great because like you sip and sip until you're good, and then you just stop, and you're not like just throwing some down the hatch and riding it out, Let's see who's on the line next here. We got 2 more people to go. This is the Brett and Josh show. Thanks for calling in, folks. Who are we talking to?
Hey guys, what's up? It's Adam.
How's it going, Adam?
Not too bad.
Okay.
Just sitting around at my parents' house in Charlotte.
Doing what? Listen to the show?
Yeah, listen to the show, doing a little reading, doing a little scrolling, watching Star Trek.
Oh, really?
I think Enterprise was on.
Okay.
Not very good.
I never could get Star Trek to stick with me. Maybe someday, but the stuff that when I hear people talk about it and they have these really engaged, amazing conversations, and then when I watch it, it just goes over my head. I think I might be too much of a simpleton.
Yeah, I've only recently gotten into it, and the Next Generation's pretty accessible for me.
Okay.
The original one, of course, is pretty unwatchable. But yeah.
Cool. So
Is Brian doing all right?
I think Brian's okay. He's gonna get it together. He really knows how to rally. So what you calling in for? What, you got a story or something?
I don't really have a specific thing to talk about tonight. I've been in North Carolina, monitoring the storm.
Like as your job or like amateur?
Oh no. Just as a civilian.
Nice.
Yeah.
What kind of equipment are you using?
The Weather Channel application on the iPhone.
Advanced technology.
Yeah.
The AccuWeather one's better, but Weather Channel will work.
We have scientific debate on this show.
So you're storm
the
chasing?
AccuWeather one works.
What's going on?
He's watching the storm.
That's cool. Did you like chase it around or just checking it out?
You should.
No, I'm not even doing that right now. I was just saying I was checking on that earlier today, just because I was prevented actually from going back home to Raleigh where I live because it looks like central North Carolina is kind of flooding.
Damn it.
A little bit. Yeah, it's not great right now. Duplin County, of course, with all the livestock there are drowning and spreading a lot of pollution. I think there's a coal ash pond in near Wilmington that's flooding.
I heard about the coal ash and the pig shit getting into the water.
Go vegan.
Yeah.
Stop it. You stop that right now.
Yeah, that's
going
awful,
on?
man. That sucks. Solidarity. I don't know. I mean, it's probably going to take a lot of fucking work.
You notice how they're not doing all that raised money
Houston
for
is
this
still.
one too? Like it happens so much now that like we're not going to get a TV special about raising money for this hurricane like we did for like, you know, a few other hurricanes. All the
Sandy or
celebrities would
Maria.
get together and do a bunch of stuff and raise a bunch of money. But it doesn't seem like anybody's even like asking for donations or anything.
Well, there was. Did everybody?
Yeah,
did anybody see that charming story about the police getting called off from the looters?
No.
Oh yeah, at Dollar Tree.
Yeah,
It's a Dollar Tree.
Even though they said that, though, I guess the last tweet I saw was that they were going to identify the looters anyway and prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law.
Yeah.
Even though the store
Oh,
said.
just do it later on, not jam them up while they're there.
Even though the store said to leave
That's
it
real
alone.
nice.
The owners,
Yeah.
the owners of Family Dollar said, don't arrest those people, and they went ahead and arrested 5 of them.
Of course. They love arresting people, dude.
That makes money for them.
Yeah, they just love arresting people. I also saw
And
that
you
they
can
weren't
keep
going
people in jail.
I also saw that they were not going to transport prisoners into prison. They were just going to let them stay there. And like,
That's
what is
right.
that?
That
What
was a
kind?
huge problem in Katrina.
What kind of way is that to treat people, man?
A bunch of them died in Katrina.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
I mean, those
They
prisons
did,
are
yeah.
in
I mean, they
bad
treat them
shape.
just like those fucking livestock. Excuse me.
Yeah, those prisons are in bad shape too. I mean, it's probably pretty
It's
dangerous
abysmal.
out there. Yeah. Well, we'll keep an eye on it and see what's going on. We'll Storm Team Street Fight. We'll keep an eye on this thing.
Yeah, and if there's any...
Yeah, we've got a Southeast Street Fight group now. If anybody wants to join on Facebook.
Oh, Southeast North Carolina?
Well, Southeast.
No,
United States.
just Street Fight Southeast. Yeah. So
okay.
if anybody from that area wants to join or
Ooh, I want to
nearby.
I want to join. I want to come down and eat all your good food. I want to go to a
Yeah,
cookout.
you guys should come down.
Get some cheer wine.
We should
And some
we should
moonshine.
try and definitely some cheer wine, some cookout. Yeah. You guys, you know my buddy Saul. He just moved back to Texas.
Okay.
I don't
He's
know.
called in a few times.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. We'll get in the group there.
Very good. Yeah, I'll invite you guys I'm on the Street Fight group as well.
Yeah. Well, thanks for calling in,
All right.
and we'll
right,
keep
boys.
we'll keep paying attention to it.
Yeah, peace. Yeah, I mean Houston is still.
Yeah.
I saw Spoka was still raising money for Houston like 3 weeks ago. So there's going to be a lot of time and money and effort to mutual aid necessary to get that thing rolling.
Yeah, because the state's not going to do anything about it.
And we need People's Revolutionary Police to arrest the cops that arrested the people that were stealing from the Dollar General, despite the owner's wishes. So.
I like that idea of just installing a People's Revolutionary Police wherever a hurricane
They're like,
happens.
justice. Now we're going to do justice.
Did you see the story about the water bottles in Puerto Rico?
No.
There was this aerial shot of just thousands and thousands and thousands of pallets of just bottled water sitting on the end of this runway in Puerto Rico that just nobody distributed.
Never got
it. Like
anywhere?
nobody, yeah.
They just contractually dropped it off and had no way to get it.
All I saw were the pictures and then some stock quote from someone from FEMA. But yeah, it was pretty
that's
jarring
atrocious.
that all that stuff got
We
there.
can do so much better. And it's like, it's crazy because all of us are tied into the same contract. Why are we proud to be Americans when this is the treatment you're going to get? They're not going to do shit for you if you need help
Yeah.
and you're living in this land.
Yeah.
Fuck. Jesus. All right, let's see. We got 2 more to go. Somebody snuck in. We'll take it. Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to?
Hey guys, what's up? It's Ben from Ithaca.
What's up, Ben? How are you tonight?
Good. How are you guys?
I feel a little barfy right now, but other than that, I'm okay.
Barfy? Oh, I feel that. I've been drinking a lot. I honestly only called to listen, so I wasn't really expecting to get on, so I don't really have much to talk about. But
all right.
Well, it's good to hear
fun
from
to
you,
save it
Ben.
up.
Yeah, you have a jovial voice.
Yeah, it's good to hear from you.
I have a jovial voice.
You sure do.
Hey.
Yeah, it's great. It's
Hey.
comforting.
Well, you can call back
guys,
in. I'm sorry.
You guys are good at sweet talking.
Thank you. We're
It
a
makes
couple
me feel
sweethearts.
comforted.
We're a couple of real
Can I-
sweethearts.
Yeah. Hey, I agree. But I do want to kind of punch in on something someone said earlier. Someone was talking about their dad being really into drugs, and my dad is as well. He's a big pothead, and he's like my favorite person in the world because he like just he's the kind of person that sells like he still sells like $20 of like weed that's really bad and doesn't get you very high.
Stress
But-
weed?
20 sack.
Right, but it's a good deal, right? It's $20.
Yeah,
like
man.
if you don't get
It's
very
affordable.
high, you're only spending $20.
Yeah, and you'll get high if you smoke all of it at the same time.
You haven't tried to hook him up with
Yeah.
that Kush or anything?
Oh,
I've
okay,
tried.
okay.
Like I have a lot of friends who are like big potheads and like big into like real. I don't know if it's real weed because I'm not like much of a smoker, but it's like definitely something my dad doesn't smoke, but he doesn't like it. He like smoked with one of my friends once, and he got so high it was like I thought he was gonna die.
It's a problem.
Yeah, he probably freaked out a little. You've been smoking that dirt weed all your life, and then boom, you're banging on like some blueberry kush.
Yeah, some 33% THC strain.
Yeah, a moon rock.
All
Dad
right.
weed is underrated because it's really cheap and it doesn't do much, but it does just enough.
Yeah, we were talking. I've had
It's like-
actually that conversation with a couple of people that said that dispensaries should look into like some vintage, like get the Acapulco Gold that still has like a bunch of stems and seeds on it. You know, get something that's
Oh, hell yeah.
comfortable. We need like a Bud Light of weed.
Yeah.
For that
That's what-
for
yeah.
certain people. Don't want that.
Like I smoked that kind of stuff on a hillside when I was 16, and
Sure.
I thought I was high, but most of it was like 75% pretending I was high and 15% like being high.
Dude, I used to get $80 ounces and just bust them open and get so fucking like the world would just be spinning from because I
Yeah.
was just so out of it.
It's probably from
And then
smoke
I know just
inhalation
feel-
more than.
exactly. It was oxygen being cut off from my brain.
I had such a different. I guess I had such a different experience because like I wasn't like the person that ever bought it or smoked it a lot as a teen, but when I did, like I always felt like I was pretending to be high. But I'm also like a very like chubby, tall person, so I always feel like I'm smoking weed wrong or I'm not smoking enough.
Yeah, you're probably. I mean, you could get one of them vape pens and hit it 3 times, and you'll be good. I don't care how big you are.
I did that like a couple weeks ago, and I like blacked out, and I thought I got drugged, but it was just because I like had a vape pen and drank a lot of Yingling.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That will sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't mix. I had a friend that like I would always like I have to be crossfaded. And I had a friend that it never worked for, and we would come home drunk every single time, and he would ask to hit the weed, and then he would just go throw up for like 45 minutes.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
lay on the
Yeah,
floor
that's
and
me,
feel like
'cause
he's about to die.
That's like me. I'm like the worst friend. I'm like the friend you have to put in a baby carriage because like I'm like I can't get high. I'm already drunk, and then I smoke, and then I look up at like the sky, and then I just like fall apart.
Yeah. I know a lot of people who will like in a moment of drunk weakness decide that they can get high now
Yeah.
and then have a rough time.
No, then they send a text message. They're like, dude, it's 12 o'clock the next day, and I'm still fucking stoned,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
I relate to that way too much.
Well, thanks.
But anyways, I'll let you guys go. I just wanted to call to listen to the show, but
Well,
I
if
hope
you-
you guys had a good tour. And
Did you get that shirt I sent?
yeah, I got it, and I got the Sonic the Hemchog sticker as well.
Oh, perfect. Yes. Good.
Sweet.
And I felt so prude because I'm like, obviously this whole call was about not knowing how to smoke weed.
It's fine. You can steal weed smoking
I
valor.
mean, weed shirts are just cool anyway. So.
Hell yeah.
And weed
Yeah,
stickers.
like
so.
I'm gonna get a weed leaf tattoo. I'm gonna get a pot leaf tattoo or
Good
something
idea.
now.
Good
I mean,
idea.
that just shows who you are, to people. They're like, yeah, that's cool.
Right.
Yeah, I'm trying to be cool, and all you need to know is that I'm trying really hard.
I really would.
But I really appreciate you sending that. I mean, obviously, my last call, I talked about how everybody sent me stuff, and I really appreciate it. But I really appreciate that, and you guys are awesome. Thanks for the solidarity.
Yeah. Have a good one.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, have a good night, guys.
Last call.
For alcohol.
Yeah, we're gonna do that song. That'd probably go over with like young people that haven't heard it a million times.
Yeah.
People that haven't been to the bar yet. We can
One
get into that
last call for
demographic.
alcohol. It's something about ba-la-ma.
I know.
Hey, thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to?
Take my call.
Hey guys, it's the big guy. How you doing?
What's up,
Doing
big
well.
guy?
How
You
about
said
you?
you
Big
were
guy.
calling.
Yeah, I was kind of worried I wasn't gonna make it tonight, but I guess things turned out, and so here we are, and I'm glad.
Perfect.
You got in. You're lucky you
I've
got in there because we was about to cut it. We were getting ready to cut.
You're about to cut it?
Cut it out. We were done. Now you're the last caller, as is becoming the tradition.
Right. I had a feeling. I was like, the lines are either full or they're about to cut it off or something, and I just need to get in. And I did it, and I'm here. And gotta say, it's nice in here. It's honestly like, I love what you've done with the place.
Well, I'm kind of like right now, like I'm in this thing where like I'm either way too high because I'm like having weird nerves, and then I took kratom, and I just kind of feel like I'm going to throw up all over the place or fall asleep or explode with nervous energy.
That sounds terrible.
It's not the best feeling, I got to tell you, but I'm handling it. I'm a professional.
You're doing good. It doesn't show. You are doing an exceptional job.
Well, it's not the first panic attack I've ever had on the radio. Okay, this is not my first rodeo.
The reason I am where I am is because of a string of panic attacks, but that's neither here nor there.
Aren't they great? Just panic attacks.
I love them. It's like
they're just great.
It's like, hey, you know what I really want to do at this hour? You know what I really want right now is to just like, have really high blood pressure and hyperventilate and, not be able to relax. That's great. That's awesome. That helps stressful situations so much whenever you just like you feel like your heart is going 100 miles an hour. Yeah.
Well, I can cope with it. The weird thing with me is like I don't have the sort of heart beating and stuff like that. I just get the nervous feeling in my stomach that I get when you're in danger. You get a nervous feeling in your stomach, but there's no reason for it, and it just shows up, and I'm just like, all right, well, I guess we're gonna deal with this for a while. I mean, I'm sure once I get in the car and get the windows down and get the air in my face, I'll probably feel fine. But it's always weird. This room is so hot.
Oh, that might be it. It might be the heat.
Yeah, it just gets me weird.
Did you guys see my my photographs that I was sending around? I don't know where they wound up.
I saw one where you were like at a fire and you had your face covered, and I think you were smoking through the bandana. But I didn't like click in closer. And then I saw another one you sent me. Did you vandalize somebody's car?
Dude, like, come on.
You're gonna try and make me incriminate myself on the radio?
That's
Come
true.
on.
Well,
Come
I
on.
was just saying, okay, I'll shut up there now. I get it. We're no more incriminating people on the radio.
The only
Allegedly.
thing I'll admit to on the air is that I did take a picture of somebody's bumper sticker that was an NRA sticker. It said National Rifle Association, and allegedly someone had marked out rifle and wrote bootlickers instead.
You could have done racist though too. Like you could have put racist in there, and it would have fit with that. That vandal could have wrote racist, and it would have fit with the R theme. But hey, bootlicker works too. I think bootlicker would.
Whenever whoever wrote that, whenever they write racist, like actual racists see that and they just go, they'll call anybody a racist.
Yeah,
but if they see bootlicker, that still kind of grinds.
Yeah,
you
they
know?
do hate being called bootlickers. I like licking the boots. Okay, the boots taste fine to
I
me.
don't lick boots. That's for you know, baby boys who like when women stand on them, and I don't like when women stand on me. It doesn't get me hard. Definitely not something I'm interested in. No, I mean, I feel like bootlicker, I'm going to defend the use of the word bootlicker because people have told me it's kind of a kink shame kind of word, but, like, I don't know. Like, people aren't just into licking boots.
No,
I mean, it's like a whole thing, you know?
Yeah, it's supporting power. I mean, it's like licking the boot of people in power. It's not like in your bedroom.
Exactly,
No one cares if you do it in your bedroom.
Yeah, you can lick your wife's boots all you want. Your
All the
girlfriend's
boots you want.
your boyfriend's, your non-binary friend's boots. You can lick your partner's boots anytime you want. I don't got a problem with that. It's when you lick the cops'
You can,
boots.
You can literally, if you want to literally lick anybody's boots, I'm not going to stop you. The cops aren't really going to appreciate if you stick your tongue on their boots, but
Well, make sure they're cool. Make sure they're cool with it first.
Yeah, I think the cops might
Ask for
care.
permission.
They might like to get their.
Consent
I mean,
is
if you
key.
kissed the
Consent
cops,
is key.
if you were like, "I'll kiss your feet," they'd probably get excited about it. Like, finally, give me some respect.
Well, they'd be all nervous and they'd be like, "Oh, no, I can't let you do that. No, that would be unprofessional." But they'd be so flattered. They would be just in there. They would go home and think about that all night.
I'll tell you what, sir. I'll lick your boots.
Yeah, and they get your license. Like, follow me home and get some boot licking in.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you guys seen those stories of like I don't know. I see that all the time. I guess stories of like cops pulling people over, and specifically female cops pulling over like men in the middle of the night, and then the men somehow seducing the female cops into like sex. Which I don't know. Is that revolutionary? Is that revolutionary to
I don't know
seduce
about
a
that.
female cop into like?
That was
Like,
a Lil Wayne
Because
song.
they get in trouble for it.
That was a little
They get in
Wayne
trouble
song.
for it.
I mean, people get horny, and I'm sure if you're
No, you shouldn't. They should be sexless.
Yeah.
Until they take off the uniform.
Yeah. Fuck them. I'm
Yeah,
not
but
looking at
don't. Fuck
boots.
them, but don't.
Right.
Don't fuck cops.
It's good
I mean,
policy.
unless you're into it. I'm not trying to kink
Unless,
shame
no.
here. Fuck pretend cops or like those stripper cops.
Fuck pretend cops.
Halloween's
Fucking
coming
stripper
up, and you know.
Look, nobody has ever been hurt by somebody telling you that they're putting you under arrest. So.
Yeah.
So that's stripper cops are not bad.
I'm fine with stripper cops.
Yeah, I think
I guess I should expound. Go ahead.
I wouldn't complain about stripper cops either.
Stripper cops.
I mean, it's not my thing. It's not my thing, but
they don't enforce the
I
current
mean,
power
it's not
structure.
like the real
so.
uniform. It's a sexier version
Yeah,
of the
it's
uniform.
much more provocative.
Yeah.
okay, can real cops start wearing stripper cop uniforms? Can
I-
we get that like on
you
the
know,
docket or something?
That might get them out of being cops, you know? Like, I don't want
They'd
to
be
be a
like, oh,
cop.
I'm not wearing that. And I was like, good.
Brian, do you remember?
Don't wear it.
Do you
Don't
remember?
do your job.
Do you remember your Department of Sanitation and Policing?
Yeah.
Your idea for the cops, how they'd have to wear shorts like a UPS driver?
Yeah, yeah. Clean up. Like, yeah. They'd be public servants that have to dress like dorks.
We should
which
make-
I already think they dress like dorks.
We should
but
make cops wear shorts.
Yeah, I like that idea.
No, I know the worst outfit for them. It's like overalls that are cut off mid-thigh.
Yeah.
Overalls that cut off mid-thigh.
I saw a guy at the zoo that had shorts, overalls, and I was like, that guy just looks like he could go tumbling around anywhere he wants. It's like just, you know,
But they, yeah.
it's like a little, it's like wearing a smock.
That's like a romper.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like out there doing a romping.
If you went commando in some overall cutoffs, I mean, you
can
could get a good breeze going.
Great thing about about overall shorts too, you don't have to wear a shirt. It covers up most of the chest. You don't have to wear a shirt with that.
I mean, I have to wear a shirt.
Romper
Romper cops. That would be cool. That would
Then
get...
they gotta take oh, dude, and they have to store their gun in their underwear, and so that way, if they want to pull out their gun, they have to take their romper all the way off.
Yeah, that's all.
So they have time to think about it and cool off.
I like this. Now we've got something figured out.
I don't want to ever hear anyone say that I'm anti-cop. I'm just anti-cops, not in rompers.
Yeah.
Cops should be in rompers, and that's just
That's just the T, sis.
that's the T, sis.
That's the T, sis.
It's just such a pain to pee and also pull out my gun in this thing.
Hey.
Yeah.
Well, too bad. You shouldn't have become a cop.
Didn't it become a cop? I actually met a cop on a dating website the other day.
Ooh, hachi machi.
Did you want more?
Yeah.
Go for it.
They were like, yeah, they were pretty gross, and don't date cops.
My wife and I like made up this thing last night that was just like a little, we were joking around about it. What if in California, when they legalized weed for recreational use, they made sex illegal? Like, how would people feel? Like they'd have to be like, God dang it, now I can't have sex.
Some conservative in the boonies snuck it into the bill.
Yeah. Great, now sex is illegal.
Yeah, fuck now.
Wasn't there like a state or a country or something that like accidentally made like LSD and heroin legal for 2 days on accident or something in like 2016?
I don't know.
I was on Twitter about that today.
Sounds like The Purge, but way more fun.
Sounds like The Good Purge.
Would have been, yeah, The Good Purge. Like, can we have a purge that's like just like The Purge, except you're not allowed to kill people and it's just all year long? How about that?
Yeah, a purge where you're not allowed to kill people, but you can break most of the other laws. I like it. Let's break these laws. Let's get out here and break these
them.
laws.
Laws are meant to be broken.
Laws, schmalls.
To my defense, in that picture of me in the fire, Brian, I think you missed the fact it was an American flag that was on fire.
How dare you? How dare you?
That was my first.
Post
Can you
that.
believe that was my first?
Oh, it feels good, doesn't it?
You were just disposing of it
my gosh.
as the flag code prescribes, right?
Yeah.
Now you got to
with
join a
burger and
Facebook.
40.
Now you got to join a Facebook group that's called like "I will die for my flag," and then post it in there so people can tell you that they're gonna stomp you. That's the next.
Oh my
part.
gosh, can I do that?
I mean,
if you guys get that picture circulate, because I don't really do Facebook and I don't know how to do internet security and I don't want to get like actually found. But if you guys want to like, I don't know, somehow circulate that photo on like a conservative Facebook page or something, I really want to catch flack for something because I honestly am bored most of the time.
You need some flack. Big guy needs some flack out there, folks. Give him some shit.
Big guy
As
needs
big
some
as your
flack.
dad on Twitter. If you got any flack you want to throw at the big guy, you go find him.
Whack him.
Give him some flack. All right, big
Whack me,
guy.
boys.
We're going to go home. I'm going to lay in my bed and play Spider-Man until I feel like I'm not having a panic attack anymore.
Hell yeah. You enjoy that Spider-Man, and you guys have a good night.
You too, buddy.
Spider-Man's a cop. Is he a bad
He's a
cop?
Yeah, you know, he's a good cop.
No,
'cause in that world, all the bad guys are actual bad guys. And all the cops are actually good. That's how the universe works. Duh.
Okay.
No, Spidey's a cop. Spidey's a cop.
Yeah, of course. But cops are good in that world, so... Unfortunately,
Well,
that's just the way
cops
things
are
are.
good, and cops are never good.
No, they're good. They're bad in this world, but in the world of Spider-Man, they're not corrupt.
Right.
And they're like good people who do stuff. That's what somebody one time was talking about, how Batman's a fascist, and Leslie Lee, one of my favorite people, they were like, he's just beating up poor people, and they were like, no, Leslie was like, he's beating up bad people because it's a fake comic book world where you can beat up bad people, where like the people are
He's
actually
beating up
very
bad
bad.
people because
Yeah.
the bad people are poor.
Well,
have I told you guys about that? That Batman is literally a modern day vampire?
Well, I mean,
in the exact same vein as the this is important. I'm sorry to hold y'all, but this is important. You know, in the Marxist interpretation of like vampires is that you know, vampires are always rich and they feed off of poor people, right? They are literally capitalists. Well, Batman is literally a rich man who dresses up like a bat and beats the shit out of poor people.
But that's not his goal.
And also, you don't have.
Neither is that the goal. Neither is that the goal of the vampires. The goal of the vampire is to, you know, do whatever the fuck they're doing and whatever, I don't know. But they just sustain themselves by feeding on poor people.
Well,
that's
and
what- that's
handsome
like
and
a big
sexy
thing,
people.
is like,
They go looking for sexy people
Yeah.
all the time too. Vampires are just so sexy.
You also don't have to let Batman in. He makes some dramatic entrances.
Well, I mean, Batman lives in a world where people are so desperate that they hear word that the Joker is about to go blow up some building and he's paying big money for the job, and they're like, all right, I could use a little bit of scratch right now.
Yes! Yeah, that's the world Batman takes place in.
Think about it. Why is the Joker messed up though? Because Batman kicked him into a vat of like acid or something.
I think that's
Like,
only
the
in
Joker-
one
Batman
interpretation.
Made the Joker.
I think that's only
No,
in one
Batman made the
interpretation.
Joker. That's canon.
Because they're
That's
making
canon.
a new Batman, a Joker movie now, and we're going to learn it all again.
That's revisionism. It's revisionism. I won't stand for it.
I'm good with revisionism. It's probably going to
No.
get me yelled at by somebody that thinks I understand what I just
Oh, yeah.
said.
Way to go. I was trying to catch flack here, and you just threw yourself on the chopping block.
Yeah,
So
I'm
I'll
100%
let
pro
you-
revisionism.
I am
that
gonna
bad?
let you guys go. I don't know. Fuck it.
That's
I'm pro
bad.
revisionism too.
Yeah.
Hit me up. Hit me up, haters.
All right. See you later, big guy.
Peace. All right. Thanks for listening to the show. That is Street Fight Radio. If you want to hang out and play some video games with me, I have the game Splatoon 2 and Mario Kart for Nintendo Switch. I put my friend code in the Patreon, and I put it in the Discord, in our gaming Discord. We're trying to get a group together so that we can all play and chat and do Street Fighty stuff on video games. So that's happening right now. We are also going to be performing this Friday, September 21st at the Summit Bar here in Columbus, Ohio. We're going to be doing MC work for the DSA's Brake Light Clinic fundraiser. So come check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. You can hang out with us. We're going to listen to bands and have a great time. You can find more of what we do at streetfightradio.com. You can find our bonus content over at patreon.com/streetfightradio. I'm also working on getting together this app called Rabbit, where you can like stream movies, and you can like sit in a room with 200 people and all watch a movie together. So I think I'm going to try and get that going for some horror movies this Halloween. That's my plan. So get the Rabbit app and be ready. You can always watch the show on Twitch and Facebook. We are Street Fight Radio. Peace.
Good night.
Whew.
Send me a link to the Discord.